Hi, my name's Courtney. I'm from Ontario, Canada, and I'm doing this video for a friend of mine, Lance, who launched this video so that during this time in COVID, we are trying to do something with our times that is going to hopefully help us all kind of join as one as a community so that we can help each other out by kind of like the points that we have to share with each other. And maybe some of those points will just help save the world. One of the things I noticed at the grocery store was the kind of just not thought out process about how we're keeping ourselves safe. I was packing my own bags, and I kind of just paused there for a second because I was just wondering, okay, so we're doing all of these precautions, and one of their precautions for, I guess, the spread of germs is to put everything in plastic. An additional plastic bag. My brain just went, well, what are we doing with the plastic that we're pumping out to everybody right now in a couple of months when like life goes back to normal and I'm allowed to use my reusable bags again? Like, isn't the whole reason why we brought in reusable bags is because we were trying to fix a problem? So in my mind, I think that we're just coming to conclusions really quickly because we're making fast kind of thoughts, fast actions, and we're not really thinking about the whole outcome of the decision that we're making.
Yeah, it's awfully wasteful.
Yeah, it's very wasteful, and it's a very wasteful, we're very wasteful, like as a society. We just don't think of how quickly we go through things or how disposable everything is. And I think it's just always like a problem that we think of that we're going to handle in the future, or like it's out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, it's a mindset that we have of like, I'm gonna put this in a trash bin and then it's gone forever. When it's like, no, it just goes somewhere else and builds up.
Yeah, exactly. I don't understand like why we don't think this through.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the first one again? The second one? The waste with the bags led me to the thought process of us just moving too quickly through life, essentially. And one of those really big themes that we think of is the time. That we run through things because we don't feel like we have enough time or that we never have the time. So what I've been doing during my time is continued reflection and continued searching of what I actually want to spend my time doing. There's like that meme that's out there that says something along the lines of, I never have time for, and now you have the time for, because you have nothing else to do, potentially.
Yeah, you're like, dang, I don't have excuses.
Yeah,
I have
exactly.
to do this now.
So, and I think that gives us all a big, for me, for sure, gave me a big kick in the butt. Like, okay, so if time is the only reason why you can't do this, why aren't you doing it? And then that just, again, brings in more kind of reflecting where it's like, well, it's actually because I'm afraid that I'm going to fail. Or it's actually because that isn't the place that I want to go. That's not the direction I want to go. So this, during this COVID time, there's a lot of things that I'm spending time doing, like more self-care, but like also reaching out to my family potentially more than I would, you know, during FaceTime, or doing like learning yoga and actually painting and like teaching the dogs new tricks.
With this, like, this time that you have to reflect and to slow down on things, do you think you can incorporate that when things pick back up?
I think that that's the most important question is what you're doing right now of like high enough value for you in your life that you feel like it is important for you to then transfer over into normal life. I think the extent of how people are going to apply that as like life normalizes again is really going to depend on what they're doing. If you know, if they're doing Netflix all of the time, and dogs are getting rowdy, if they're doing Netflix all of the time, and I'm not talking like documentaries, I'm talking like, you know, garbage TV that's not really enriching.
Tiger King.
Oh my God, I hate that so much.
We just alienated a bunch of people. Anyway,
so don't take me on a tangent because I'll go.
Yeah. Well, with that though, I think it's important for some people to find a way to de-stress and unwind. Yeah, we do need ways to unwind that are healthy. But I think that like sometimes if I add up how much time I've spent watching something, I'm like, wow, I could have read 3 books by then, or I could have drawn something nice, or I could have taken the dogs out for a walk, taught them something good. So like, I think it's good that we have ways, outlets for stress and how to like just unwind and be a little bit lazy. But I think that it's programmed us to like desiring that of like, when I get home, I'm going to like eat and sit down and watch TV until I fall asleep, which can be good, but I think it's just a little bit too consistent for people. Um, like it's kind of just numbing us down and zonking us out of like there could be so much that we could do with that extra time if we add that all up. But sorry,
Yeah.
that was my rant.
No, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
It's perfect. I totally agree. Something that I would love to see come out of this whole situation that we're in is that people are just being a little bit more mindful about what their actions are. And I don't know necessarily what that looks like for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's a lot more honesty, for one. I think that when you have like interactions with people, you can tell if they're being honestly them or if they're just like caught up in something.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
you can really tell when somebody's genuine. I feel like that's something that like that's part of that good vibes thing. It's
Yeah.
like you can tell when somebody's being real with you.
Yeah.
And you can tell when somebody's being impatient, is at a faster rhythm than you, and you're just like, okay, fine. I guess this is not a very, let's finish this interaction as quick as possible.
I'm curious to know that if work just goes back to normal, like if we just go like hit the ground running and just like everything just goes really quickly again, or if we're going to actually try to apply the things that we've practiced and learned during this time.
Yeah, that's why I want to make these videos so that we have some documentation that's oh yeah, I said I was gonna go do that and I haven't been doing that. Yeah, because I feel like it would be such a waste to go through all of this to come out the other end. And in some cases, that there's possibilities that we could be even worse than we were before. So I think that we really need, like you said, take this time to reflect. Like now is, who knows if we'll ever have another time to be able to sit down and have things slow down because we can't go outside type of thing. Like this, it sucks, but it could be a good thing, and we should really take advantage of it. And hopefully we don't go back to the way things were, or even make them worse. So
Yeah, I agree.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what's the last time that we talked? When? Like this time?
Yeah, outside of like just text here and there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right?
It's been like over a year. Yeah.
I think I've really enjoyed our conversation. I think it's great.
It's been nice catching up with you. Yeah.
Yeah. But even so that, in addition to that, though, I've talked about, like, you've told me about some of your like your plans with your personal business, and I'm like totally on board for helping you grow that in whatever way that I can, or giving, being I think just having you as a resource is a huge thing. That's something that has been obtained just literally through this video.
Yeah, we'll have to do an episode of Dog Talk. So brainstorm stuff that you want to share with the YouTube community.
I think it's we're on very similar wavelengths, I think, for what we're trying to accomplish in the world. What we want to see is a reflection of the world, but also in the dog world. And like,
I think they're a reflection of us, quite honestly.
Yeah, that's very true.
Or I want to improve their lives, and I think that's going to improve everybody else's lives. Just like this whole thing, starting at a small micro concept of change yourself and change the way we talk to each other can change the world. It's bottom up processing. You change the bottom, and that goes systemically all the way to the top.
Okay, so to recap all of that, I think what I would suggest as kind of my contribution to this whole thing is that we take time to slow down and kind of, the old saying, smell the roses.
Yeah.
So take a second and pay attention to what you're doing, pay attention to what's around you. And I think that we're going to learn a lot about ourselves, but about the people around us. And I think it's a great way to see how communities can be formed because of change that we want to create in the world, because we're all kind of realizing that we are doing these things kind of robotically almost, because we're going through life so quickly that we're not really paying attention. We're not stopping to smell the roses. So I think what I would suggest, excuse me, what I would suggest moving forward, to kind of as we reacclimate ourselves to like normal life, is to pay attention to the things that we've been doing and the things that we've kind of taken pleasure in, the things that have been enriching and educating and all educational, and
Also the things that are not serving us.
and also, yeah, a lot of the things that are not serving us. And, you know, maybe we're going to think about how we can change some of the things in our lives that are, for example, going to make us less wasteful. The biggest thing that we waste is time. So if we're paying attention to how we're spending our lives, and we're noticing that we're spending a lot of time on Netflix, and maybe so tomorrow we start doing something other than that. We plant something, we learn a new skill, right? We do something other than that, then
Banjo.
learn the banjo. We
Eat
could start a
something.
band and the bongo drums.
Yeah, I actually do have a banjo. That's like on my list of things to do.
Well, there you go.
My excuse has been I don't know how to tune it, and now I'm like I have plenty of time to learn how to tune it.
Yeah.
How do you want to sign off to the people, Courtney?
I don't have a sign off.
Yeah, and that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Yes, that's the way the dog paces right now. But no, I just hope everybody is taking the time to take some time to do whatever it is that means the most to them right now, whatever it is that is important, while understanding that the world is a little bit of a different place right now. So we might have to make some adjustments, but we can definitely make good of
We can
this.
come out on top.
We can come out on top, all of us together.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you for your time and your insights.
Yeah.
This is super helpful for me, and I'm sure other people will find it helpful too.
Woohoo! Good.
Can I get a shot of your dog real quick?
Right now. Oh, the good puppy. The good time.